What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Pitching Ninja's filthiest pitches of the day. Remember, before we get to those pitches, hit that subscribe button. Join Ninja Nation. Be a part of the biggest and best daily baseball show on YouTube. And now, without further ado, here are my filthiest pitches of the day. I'm going to start with Hyun Jin Ryu, who had 5 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 2 runs. He's always a fun guy to watch and put on a pitching clinic with his fastballs and cutters and changeups, but to me it was really his slow curveballs that stole the show. Look at these curveballs of 66 and then 64.6 miles an hour, which is his slowest curveball from a starting pitcher all season to get a whiff. And I love watching Ryu turn around and look at the scoreboard velo just to see how slow he threw it. Most pitchers do gun checks on heaters, seeing what big numbers they're putting up there, but not Ryu. I love it. Ryu faced Logan Allen, who had 2 Ks in 4 innings, giving up 5 runs and had this changeup. Julio Urias went 6 innings with 9 Ks, nice, but gave up 6 runs, not so nice. And it was really the 6th inning that was not so nice to him, where he gave up 4 runs. Before that, he was dominating with his fastballs, changeups, cutters, and slurves, which had up to 21 inches of horizontal break. He faced James Paxton, who had 4 Ks in 4 1/3 innings, giving up 4 runs, and had this sinker and knuckle curve for a sword. This game also featured this blow-up by Max Muncy on this low strike call. Undoubtedly a ball, but it can't be a great feeling when you turn around to argue with 6'7" Jordan Baker, the tallest umpire in the major leagues, who probably does have a tough time seeing the low end of the strike zone, and who then ejected Muncy, saying, "Go to the dugout, little man. I am not taking any more from you." And no video games either. Touki Toussaint had 4 Ks in 5 scoreless innings, thanks to his curveball and splitter. And he faced J.P. Sears, who had 8 Ks in 6 innings, but gave up 6 runs and had these sliders and nasty sweepers. Chase Silseth had 3 Ks in 3 1/3 innings, giving up 2 runs and had these nasty splitters. Kyle Bradish was really good with 8 strikeouts in 6 innings, giving up 2 runs and had these fastballs, dirty curveballs, and sliders. He faced Chris Flexen, who had 7 strikeouts in 5 innings, giving up 2 earned runs, and had these fastballs and changeups. Logan Gilbert had 7 Ks in 7 innings, giving up 1 run on 2 hits. He dominated with his fastballs and splitters. And that splitter has gotten really nasty, despite him only picking it up this year. Here's an overlay of Gilbert's fastball and splitter, and it shows you just how tough that splitter is for hitters. You think it's a fastball, but end up swinging it air. Gilbert outdueled Jordan Lyles, who had 4 Ks in 3 innings, but gave up 7 runs and had this curveball. Freddie Peralta had 9 Ks in 5 1/3 innings, giving up 2 runs, thanks to his fastballs, curveballs, sliders, and changeups. He's been a real strikeout machine lately. And he faced Pedro Avila, who had 4 Ks in 4 1/3 innings, giving up 5 runs. Hunter Brown had 9 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 2 runs, and had these fastballs, knuckle curves, and splitters. Fernando Cruz was the opener and had 4 Ks in 1 1/3 innings. That's a lot of Ks in 1 1/3 innings. And got Ks on these filthy splitters. That splitter's been outstanding this year. Opponents have a 54.6% whiff rate on his splitter, and they're only hitting .092 against it. He faced Zach Davies, who had 5 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 1 run, and had these dirty changeups. Tyler Glasnow had a solid outing with 4 strikeouts in 6 innings, giving up no runs, and took a no-hitter into the 6th inning. He, of course, had his hammer curveballs and slider. And here's an overlay of Glasnow's 99-mile-an-hour heater and 83-mile-an-hour curveball. And you can see what hitters have to deal with. If you get that curveball and think you're getting a fastball, well, you're kind of hosed. He faced Clark Schmidt, who had 5 Ks in 6 2/3 innings, giving up 1 earned run, and had this cutter for a sword. Max Fried had 8 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 2 runs. He dominated with his fastball, including this elevated fastball, but the real pitch of the game for him was his curveball. Look at these gorgeous curveballs. He gets a sword on this one, and for the game got 6 whiffs on his curveball out of 10 swings for a 60% whiff rate. They don't call me Math Ninja for nothing. When Fried's curveball is on, it is one of the prettiest curveballs in the major leagues. Fried faced Ryan Walker, who was the opener, and had 3 Ks in 1 2/3 innings, giving up 1 run, and had this fastball and wicked slider. Eury Perez had 7 Ks in 6 innings, giving up no earned runs, and lowered his ERA this year to 2.68, which is amazing considering he's only 20 years old. He had these fastballs up to 99 miles an hour, as well as his curveballs and sliders, and picked up a White Castle special on his slider. Here's an overlay of his fastball and slider, as well as his fastball and curveball. And these show you one of many reasons the baby giraffe is so tough to hit. He tunnels his pitches really well and has pretty solid command for a 20-year-old 6'8" dude. He is such a good pitcher and is going to be great for years to come. And I did this side by side of yesterday's filthiest starting pitcher, Spencer Strider, and Eury Perez, to show you the difference between the tallest starting pitcher to throw 100 this year and the shortest starting pitcher to throw 100 this year. And the thing is, Strider actually releases the ball generally closer to the plate because he's a long strider. No, seriously, that's the reason. Max Scherzer had 10 Ks in 7 innings, giving up 2 earned runs, and had these cutters, sliders, and curveballs. And he actually threw his curveball the second most of any pitch this game, which is a big change in his pitch mix. And he ended up getting 7 called strikes with his curveball. Scherzer battled Joe Ryan, who had 7 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 1 run, and had these sweepers. And they both helped me win my MLB parlay yesterday, which MLB has me pick on their official account. Dakota Hudson threw 5 2/3 innings and had 1 K, giving up 5 runs, and had this slider. He faced Zack Wheeler, who was really good yesterday, with 10 strikeouts in 7 innings, giving up 1 run. Wheeler dominated with his fastballs and 2-seamers, as well as his sliders and curveballs. Great stuff from Zack Wheeler. Colin Selby was the opener yesterday and had 3 Ks in 2 innings, giving up no hits, and had this fastball and slider. And he faced my filthiest starting pitcher of the day yesterday, Jordan Wicks, who made his debut for the Cubs. Wicks had 9 Ks in 5 innings, giving up only 2 hits and 1 run. Wicks had this fastball and cutter, but the real story of the game for him was his changeup. He put on an absolute changeup clinic, getting 9 swings and misses out of 12 swings on his changeup for a 75% whiff rate on the game. Look at this filth. There are a couple slow-mos here so you can see how he throws that changeup. But I'll also work on getting a more detailed grip breakdown from him, hopefully soon. And I thought I'd do this flashback back a couple of years to the All-Star game when Jordan Wicks was drafted. I was talking to him, Chase Petty, and Ryan Cusick, and asked them who threw harder. Now both Petty and Cusick throw over 100 miles an hour, and I thought having a velo off was a good idea. Jordan Wicks, well, he had a different idea.
Dude, you want to do a velo off?
You gotta love a dude who knows himself that well. Now onto my filthiest relievers. Mark Leiter Jr. had these dirty splitters. Aroldis Chapman had this 101 mile an hour heater. Trevor Richards had these filthy changeups. Danny Coulombe had these wicked knuckle curves. Ryan Stanek had this splitter and fastball. Joan Duran had these 102 mile an hour fastballs, including this strike him out, throw him out double play. And my filthiest reliever of the day yesterday was Devin Williams for these ridiculous airbenders. Never take for granted that Devin throws the filthiest changeup you will ever see in your lifetime. And now, my pitching ninja moment of zen. It's Shohei Ohtani breaking the lights in the Coors Light ad. I guess it's now just Coors. I wonder if that's what he went to check out after he got his iPad after the at-bat. And the Mets scoreboard operator did a great job trolling Shohei after the incident. They probably also should have said, we'll forgive this debt if you sign here in the offseason. What is up, everybody? My picks of the day today are a 3-leg parlay. I'm going to start with Michael Wacha for 5 Ks or more, then take Jordan Montgomery for 6 Ks or more, and top it off with Luis Castillo for 7 Ks or more. What would your picks of the day be?